So I know I'm quite late considering the newest episode is already airing, but in my defense, I did post some shorts. So let's get into the review of episode 9 for The Summer I Turned Pretty final season. So I don't think I'm alone in this, that I was quite disappointed. I mentioned previously in one of my shorts that I was assuming the pacing would be a lot faster for the 3 episodes because it would concentrate a little bit more on Conrad and Belly's relationship, at least the beginnings of it. A little, we'll see a little bit of romance and stuff like that. But it's clear now with the pacing, we're not going to see much of this romance at all. I think this is an interesting case because it's clear the author had a vision of what she wanted her last few episodes to be and what she wanted to focus on. But it's also, I think it doesn't align with some of the viewers who are Belly and Conrad fans, who expected something definitely different for the last 3 episodes. And it's interesting because I don't think if she's focusing on that, she's not going to really. I think it'll be a mixed sort of like bag of feels for the last 3 episodes because it's going to be great. We're going to see the Belly that I think everybody loved and adored. We're going to see her find herself, which is a great journey to make, but we are not going to see the relationship that so many of us wanted to see like develop, right? I don't want to just see them get married and happily ever after check mark and stuff like that and skip all the stuff that is like part of the journey, especially because they had a relationship before. I want to be sure that like they've grown and what they've grown into, it still works for them as a relationship. So that's at least me personally. I like to see my main couple be happy before the show closes. I'm gonna say one of the favorite things I loved about this episode was ironically the conversation between Conrad and his father, because again, I haven't read the books and I haven't watched the first 2 seasons, but I've read spoilers, and I'm aware that Conrad was aware of his father's affair while his mother was like handling cancer, and it changed his fundamental relationship with his father to the point that he hated him. Like it was like he even cut out the parts of himself that reminded him of his father, just to distance himself as far away from him as possible, because he did not want to be that kind of guy. So it's really interesting in a way that despite doing all those things, in the end, the advice that resonates the most for Conrad is his father's advice, being like, yeah, you screwed up and stuff like that. But you're also not the person who can fix that for this person. Even though you love them and you want to, you just make everything worse. So you have to trust that the person you love has a support system that can help him get through it. And you're just going to have to step away. And I think it was kind of this like, the actor did an amazing job because you can kind of see on this moment, on his face, in that moment as his father was explaining that advice to him, that it resonated, it clicked with him. He wants him, like, yes, he can't be the person to save him or help his brother out, because he is the person. Every time Jeremiah sees him, he just gets angrier and angrier because he is the one who kind of stirred up a little bit of the relationship. It's not 100% his fault, but he's definitely a trigger for Jeremiah. So you could see it resonate with him, and despite wanting to be the one who can be there for his younger brother, he's also the guy who makes it 100% worse. But you can also see in that moment that actor is like heartbroken because he, despite trying to be nothing like his father, in a way he caused the same kind of pain that his father caused to him, that he caused to his brother. So that is like, that I think wounds him in a way that he didn't expect. But it also possibly, I think, bridges a little bit of the relationship a bit, because his father also in that conversation, never denied his responsibility. Like even when Conrad was like, you made everything worse, he was like, I know I did, which is why I had to step back. And I think it was actually a beautiful conversation because like, Conrad was lashing out with some like also his own anger, and Adam was just owning it. He was like, yeah, I did make everything worse. And it sucked because all I wanted to do was be there for you. But I knew it made it everything worse. And I think the fact that he owns that, like he owns his own responsibility in that, is powerful in a way. He didn't deny it. He didn't try to make excuses. He was just like, I know I did. And I think it would be a repairing moment for the two. You might not see it, but actually, I think that was like my favorite part of this episode, more than Taylor and Steven getting together, which was great, but we knew where it was coming. More than Belly finally figuring out that she wanted to like stay behind, because we knew that was coming. I actually think this conversation was beautiful in the most unexpected way. My hopes for this next episode, which again I haven't seen at this point, is really please, 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 let's get some Conrad in here. Conrad and Belly. Because at this point I've seen Conrad be way too sad for this whole season. And I haven't seen the version of Belly that everybody loves. And I just want to see them together. Like, from what I understand, when they are together, they are the best kind of versions of themselves, which is kind of beautiful. That's like the relationship you want to be in, right? Where you have mutual respect. There is a mutual push to be a better version of yourselves than you are. I saw a glimpse of that in that episode where they were wedding shopping for her wedding. But now I want to see it in an actual relationship where there is give and take. So, yeah. Give me that, please. I don't want to watch this like angsty part. Get to the happy ending. I want to see like happy, fluffy, fluffy last two episodes. I know I'm not gonna get that, but please, I want fluffy episodes.